What is going on? Blissful Bash MTG. I just want to start this video out. We're about to dive into my Ren series, Raining Cats and Dogs Commander deck. It's high powered. It's not CDH yet. I like to throw in jank in my decks and have a ton of fun, and you're going to see that today. But before we start this video, I just wanted to say we're doing huge giveaways right now. Be sure to join the Facebook group. Check out the Patreon, check out the Discord, subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment, smash that like button, hit that bell notification so you never miss out on your opportunity to get on these giveaways. Also, be sure to check out sihobby.com. It is down below in the description for their website, and use code BASHFAM at the end of checkout to save 10% off your entire order and more. And they're already charging below TCG low on a lot of their products, sealed products, singles, all kinds of stuff. They got Pokemon. You name it. Go check out sihobby.com. Use code BASHFAM, BASHFAM. All of that information is down below in the description. And I really hope you guys enjoy this video. And let me know what you think of this deck and what you would add, what you would take away, and what you would think that might make this CDH. See you soon here. Enjoy the video.
What is going on, Blissful Bash MTG? I hope you enjoyed that little introduction again. Yes, down below, check out the description. Today, we're going to be diving into Ren and Siri, Inseparable, Raining Cats and Dogs Commander deck. This deck took the game, the meta, by storm. Everyone was wanting this deck. It is worth around 350 mid pricing right now all over TCG. Typical market buy right now is about 260 to 280. When they first came out, it was $150 standardized put together deck. They've been doing this, and this is the fourth Commander deck now for the Secret Layers that they've been printing. So let's dive right into this. This card, fantastic card, first introduced to us in Core 21. It's about making a lot of tokens and then also dealing lots of damage and gaining some life. War Leader's Call just not reprinted, but just printed in Murders of Karlov Manor. Fantastic card. Creatures you control get +1/+1. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. With this deck, you're going to have a lot of creatures entering the battlefield, multiple tokens, and it's going to deal a lot of damage each turn. Vorinclex, Monstrous Raider, you know what it is. Kaldheim, fantastic card. If one or more counters or on a permanent, if you would put one or more counters on a permanent, put twice that many of each of those counters instead. And then also it is that your opponent does the exact opposite. This is if one or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many of tokens of these tokens would be created instead. I also have the new card, the Ojer God card from Ixalan. It's coming in the mail. This is also going to go in this deck. So we're going to be making tons and tons of tokens. There is no rhyme or reason as the setup of this deck that I put it together in. I usually have it nicely organized, but I just recently played it and I forgot. Nakati War Pride, this is something that's going to be pretty awesome too, especially if War Leader's Call is out there. When it attacks, put X tokens into play, where X is the number of creatures defending player controls. Remove those tokens from the end of the game, at the end of turn. Pretty awesome. One of my favorite cards in this deck. This is actually used to be like a $20, $30 card back in the day. Vigilance, whenever Brima's King over Esco's attacks, put a 1/1 cat soldier creature token with Vigilance onto the battlefield. Whenever he blocks, do the same. But it has Vigilance. Whenever he blocks, it does the same exact thing. And it's blocking that creature. Jetmir, Nexus of Ravels. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and have Vigilance as long as you control 3 or more creatures. And then it goes on to say has Trample as long as you control 6 or more creatures. And then has Double Strike as long as you control 9 or more creatures. Tauren Mauler, it's just one of those things where it counts as anything, really, right? Whenever an opponent plays a spell, put a +1/+1 counter on it. It's a 3-drop. Nothing too crazy about this. This is definitely one of those cards that would maybe leave the deck here if we wanted to try to go to the CDH route. But with the triggers with Ren and Siri, it's going to be based around, not Voltron, but you want your commander out there to do some damage. Here's part of that jank we're talking about. Mothra Supersonic Queen. This does not need to be in the deck, but definitely throws the table for a loop. You can help out in many different situations, but yeah, it's just one of those cards. Whenever a creature you control without flying dies, return it to the battlefield under your control with a flying counter on it. Pretty sick. Esper Sentinel, one of those competitive cards you're seeing in a lot of Commander decks these days. Very, very powerful card. Masked Vandal, same thing. It is Changeling. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, exile a target artifact or enchantment and opponent controls. Not bad. It's a 2-drop. You get to have probably a ton of creatures in your graveyard because there's a ton of creatures in this deck. And it's just a little sneak attack, if you will. Fabian Boss, confident. Creatures control have haste. At the beginning of combat on your turn, each player reveals the top card of their library. For each land card revealed this way, you create a 1/1 green-white creature token. Citizen token. And then all creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. It's pretty sick. Your opponents can't cast spells during combat. A lot of these cards, dude, are so much fun. And you're going to see a lot of cats and doggos in here. Whenever one or more non-human creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. Lots of card draw in this deck, you'll see. Other cats get +2/+1. Loyal Warhound. Vigilance. When Loyal Warhound enters the battlefield, if an opponent controls more lands than you, search your library for basic land, put it on the battlefield tapped. Nothing too crazy about this. It is a 2-drop for 3/1 with Vigilance with that little extra sauce on top, plus the triggered abilities that will happen if you have your commander out, and there's other things out in this deck that will trigger as well. Other cats you control get +1/+1 have lifelink. When it enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 cat creature tokens with lifelink. Again, triggering a lot of things. This is another create a 1/1 green and white citizen creature token. At the beginning of combat, if each player's turn, you may tap 2 untapped creatures you control. When you do, target creature that player controls gets +1/+2/+2 engage trample until end of turn. Goad that creature. Obviously, one-on-one situation, you're not playing that card. Hungry Lynx, very fantastic card. Pack Leader, the big doggo. What's going on? Out of the dogs, you get +1/+1. Whenever Pack Leader attacks, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to this turn to dogs you control. Super sick. This is not bad either. It's a 4-drop, first strike, 4/4. Pay 5. Attacking creatures you control get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of attacking creatures. Definitely a situation where you got a lot of tokens on the battlefield and you're about to swing for some maybe lethal damage. When it comes in the battlefield, return creature you control to its owner's hand. Flash, I like that. Definitely on the stack if something's targeting me. We're going to bring that back. Feline Sovereign. Cats you control get +1/+1 to have protection from dogs. Whenever one or more cats you control deal combat damage to player, destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment that player controls. We have a lot of cats in this deck. Highcliff Felidar enters the battlefield. For each opponent, choose a creature with the greatest power among creatures that player control. Destroy those creatures. This is probably one that could leave the deck for something else because of its high. If we're trying to get CDH, it's got a high 7 cost on here. But it's all right. Mirror Entity, it's not terrible. Tamira Sabertooth, this is something that I like because you can use it to bounce things to your hand. And then perfect example. Dockside Extortionist. Bounce that back to my hand, why don't I? And replay it. If you would create one or more tokens, you may instead create that many 2/2 green crack creature tokens with haste or that many 3/1 green dog creature tokens with vigilance. Another thing, triggering a lot of things in this deck just from that card alone. Kasali Slinger's Reach. Whenever Kasali Slingers or another cat enters the battlefield under your control, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment. 5-drop. Staying in the deck. I don't give a shit about the high mana costs. It's 3/5 reach. We're doing all that all day long. We're destroying stuff a day in and day out. Just a simple doggo. It's an enchantment. I have a lot of enchantments in here because there's a special land card in this deck that will trigger off enchantments. Yoshimaru, Ever Faithful, super expensive right now. It's in the $50 range. Whenever another legendary permanent enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Yoshimaru, Ever Faithful. Partner, it's a 1/1-drop. 1/1-1-drop. It's pretty sick. I love the artwork on that. This guy has pissed a lot of people off. I've been playing this deck a lot lately. And as long as you control your commander, other creatures you control have melee. Nope, this is the wrong one. Which one was it? There's a card in this deck where everyone else's creatures enter the battlefield topped. Mox Opal, Chrome Mox, Mana Crypt, Mana Vault, Soul Ring. Look at that Soul Ring. This is like $60 right now too. The One Ring is seeing a ton of play in Commander all over the format. It is a fantastic card. Everyone's screaming for it to be banned. There's no way they're going to ban this card anytime soon, just because of the lore right now behind it with the Lord of the Rings and all the hype with that. So yes, fantastic card for card draw. Doubling Season again, tokens and counters as a big plus in this deck. Force of Vigor, when things are getting a little tight, you know what to do. Sylvan Library, again, card ramp draw. Burgeoning, again, if you're in a sticky position, you like your hand that you got, and maybe this is in that hand and you don't got a lot of land, well, guess what? It's a 1-drop, and anytime an opponent plays a land, you may put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. If you got card ramp draw and you're just trying to catch up, there we go. Glittering Caves of Aglond, aka Gemstone Caverns. Foil, fantastic card, especially if you can start with it. Cavern of Souls, we're choosing cats or dogs here. Mainly cats, because there's more cats than dogs. Mox Diamond, because we like to flex on them here at the Bash fam. It is what it is. Maskwood Nexus, not terrible card. Creatures you control are every creature type. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. Pay 3, tap, create a 2/2 blue shapeshifter creature token. This card is going to have so much synergy with this deck. It already comes in the deck, and there's a reason why it came in the deck. Same with Herald's Horn, came with the deck. Choose a creature type, probably going to choose cats. Cats cost 1 less. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature card with the chosen type, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. Sword of Fire and Ice, because I wanted to spice things up with my commander and make it sick with it. Or there's other creatures in here that I might equip that with. White Sun Zenith. Put X 2/2 white cat creature tokens onto the battlefield. This is where things might get dangerous. Late game, I mean, we're talking tons of cats coming out. I mean tons. Return of the Wild Speaker, Path to Exile, Cultivate, Deflecting SWAT. Got to have some of these cards in here that are free to cast. 3 visits. Impact Tremors. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, Impact Tremors deals 1 damage to each opponent. You have this out there. War Leader's Call. You're into the game quick. Parallel Lives. I mean, come on now. Takasha's Welcome. Whenever 1 or more creatures with mana value 3 or less enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. Card draw. Smothering Tithe. Mana Ramp. Felidar Retreat. Landfall. Choose 1, create a 2/2 white cat beast creature token, or put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Those creatures gain vigilance until end of turn. It's a 4-drop. It's not terrible. This might see maybe leaving the 99. I'm not sure yet. It's an enchantment. It's something that I want. Anointed Procession. Again, guys, we're making tons and tons of copies of tokens. We're getting counters. We're doing crazy stuff. Enchantment, whenever a creature you control attacks, you may put a quest counter on Beastmaster Ascension. As long as Beastmaster Ascension has 7 or more quest counters on it, creatures you control get +5/+5. We might be able to, depending on the situation of the board, we might be getting those counters, those quest counters up easily, maybe even 1-2 turns, and we got +5/+5s across the board. Speaking of enchantments, here's Sarah's Sanctum. Now we got into some of the dualies, and then I believe there it is, the Cradle, the hidden gem of the deck. We're going to have tons of mana because we're going to have tons of creatures on the battlefield. And then we get into our wonderful lands here. This is just a stupid land. Pay 2, put a +1/+1 counter on target bird, cat, dog, goat, ox, or snake. When you have lands that do stuff like that, especially synergize so well with your deck, it's just a no-brainer. Then we got the other lands here. I love these lands that came in the commander deck, Secret Lair. Oh my god, so beautiful. And yeah, pretty much, dude. Sacred Foundry, Stomping Ground, Jetmir's Garden, Temple Garden. That is going to be the deck so far. Again, guys, if you enjoyed this video, I will include a deck list for this in the next 2 days. I'm gonna make it at work tomorrow. But yeah, I just wanted to throw this video out there because this deck is insanely fun. It is. Man, it's kind of like I say, when I say high powered, it's expensive. It's not budget friendly. I mean, you could try to lower it down with different versions of the cards that are in the deck, but you're looking at $3,000 high end, or sorry, like low end, depending on what flavors of the card you want to get. Anyways, that is the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to smash that like button. Again, check out the description box down below for all that information. We're giving away a dual land and a Tolarian Academy over on the Facebook group, so check us out. Join the Facebook group. Join the Discord. All right, guys, and check out sihobby.com and save a ton of freaking money. Love you guys. Peace out.